Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use, tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, you guys, so this is a little bit of an interview that Jeffrey Augustine had with Nathan Rich, and I'm just going to play a little bit of it. This book is nowhere to be found right now, so we know that it's important. So let's just hear what he's got to say.
Exact same thing, back talk. So I always describe that word backflash as just the most pointless Scientology word.
Well, yeah, normally it means you're being defiant.
Yeah. So my thing in school, in elementary school, was that I kind of had a couple of problems. One was that in those days I was very, very bright kid, and I was spending all that energy, the sort of brain power that I had when I was a youngster, I was spending it on doing these courses. And every time that I would go to a new school, it's just the same courses again and again, learning how to learn, how to communicate, ups and downs of life, or whatever, all these little like starter Scientology courses. And
indoctrination.
And I was interested in animals. I used to read Zoo Books, this old magazine, and I wanted to know about dinosaurs and animals and science and, space and those types of things. I didn't care about, here's how you use a dictionary, and here's how you, and over causes this and that, and here's the cycle of action. It's like, I don't care about that. I want to know about cool stuff, and so that was a big problem for me. And then the other problem I had was the teacher.
Imagine that. He just wanted to learn about other things.
In these Scientology schools were very much, poised against that. They wanted to teach Scientology, and they just wanted to teach the bare state minimum of non-Scientology subjects. And, I just was getting overwhelmed with Scientology. It was in my home life. It was my view of everything. It was being crammed down my throat in schools. I was going into auditing. It was just too much. And I didn't try to fight back.
More evidence of children being audited.
Didn't really want it. And it became, there was something incompatible about the way that my mind worked back then and how it still works now. It was something incompatible with that, and the way that these teachers approached subjects, and the way that a lot of course supervisors and other Scientology, instructors approach subjects, which is that they come from the position that the information they have is 100% correct, and you're wrong if you disagree with it or even ask questions about it. And I was such an
suppressive,
inquisitive kid that I just couldn't accept that. And so there's just a really big incompatibility between the way that they were teaching me things and the way that I really wanted to learn things.
Sure. And a bright child, your experience sounds like it was very suffocating, very confining, especially if you're inquisitive, because Scientology is not about let's inquire into the world and learn. Instead, it's like you said, getting data shoved down your throat and duplicating it and spitting it back, which I imagine would be a problem for any curious, bright child. Now, just a side question, did you learn how to read and write fairly quickly when you were in grade school?
Yeah, I picked it up. I mean, I think I probably learned to read and write, writing probably the same rate as any other kind of kid. I mean, looking back on my old schoolwork, I've got backwards letters and all that kind of stuff at approximately.
In terms of Scientology's fair game hate pages, they contain so many lies. And this is one of the problems with the Office of Special Affairs and the system of Scientology itself is L. Ron Hubbard has a policy, finder, manufacturer, which means that they'll just make up stuff to lie about people, to slander people, to defame them. And that's one of the reasons Scientology is so self-destructive, is it cannot tell the truth. And I don't want to get off on that till later. But to go back into your childhood and say you were fighting in the absence of any records or statements or corroboration, we just ignore that, right?
Yeah, for me, I was going to say, for me, it's like, they can say whatever they want, and, good luck to them. But I hope that when people listen to me talk, they find a couple of things. One, he seems like an honest guy. Two, he is telling us things that, he may have done wrong, things that are incriminating to him. I mean, I'm no angel. And so why would he be choosing a few things to say that were lies if they weren't actually lies? I mean, if you kind of follow some of my videos and some of the way that I talk about things, I'm very open about who I was in the past and who I am now. And I don't care if I was actually fighting as a kid. I would just say it. I mean, it doesn't have any bearing on me. I wouldn't care. It's just, so I hope that people can see that I don't have any reason to sort of, lie about things just because Scientology said them. I mean, some of the stuff they said was true. I did get kicked out of schools when I was young. I did have, issues fitting into these Scientology schools and whatnot.
I wonder why that would be. Why would a child have difficulty fitting into a Scientology school? Anyways, you guys, I'm not going to go through the whole entire video, but I will leave a link. And Nathan Rich stated he has a YouTube channel, I believe. So I hope I can find it. Otherwise, everyone have an amazing day or night, wherever you are. Peace.